We're at the offices of the Acton Aadusd Unified School District Board of Trustees meeting of June 9th, where there's parents and students gathered in the front due to their discontent with the possibility of their high school principal, Dr. Murphy, being let go.
Hi, welcome everybody. We're going to reconvene the regular board meeting at 7:40. And we're going to go, Mr. Wadsworth, would you lead us in the flag salute, please? Item 4B, copy of the civility statement. Yeah, would you read that for me, Jay?
Sure. The civility statement states, communicate clearly and concisely with a respect for the time of others. Listen objectively, carefully considering the opinions of others. Understand the counterproductive effects of disruptive, demeaning, and intimidating behaviors. Understand and respect district policies and procedures. Maintain a respect for the rich history of the district and the efforts of others who have served in the past.
Thank you, Ms. Texon. Item 5, closed session. We had an amendment to the agenda. We had 2 closed sessions. We just concluded closed session number 1. The board will consider and may act on any of the following items in closed session. Any action taken in closed session will be reported in open session as required by law. Closed session may be called at any time during the formal meeting by the motion of the Board of Education for the purpose of discussing pupil problem, purchase, consultation on legal problem, or an attorney, and with employee organizations with regards to salaries and or fringe benefits. All formal action involving such matters must be made in open meeting. For closed session number 1, the discussions were to include conference with labor negotiators, conference on legal counsel, and student matters. It's my duty to report to you the board unanimously approved staff recommendation for the amendment to compromise and release of student ID number 228-528-9268 was approved unanimously 5-0. We've had the second amendment to our board agenda, and we're moving to the Golden Spotlight 6A. Dr. Zahakian.
Thank you, Mr. Jorgensen. Most student board members are high school students and serve a one-year term. They have outstanding academic performance, as well as rich experiences in extracurricular and youth leadership programs. Diversity is a characteristic of student board members. These students represent and advocate for their communities and use their role to improve education and for all students for districts. Our student board member, Ms. Haley Rudd, is no exception. Not only is she excelling in her academic studies, volunteers her time through culinary arts, is a super athlete, she has served as our school board student rep with great pride and efficiency. We thank her, her family, her friends, her peers for allowing her to take on this task as student board member. So tonight she is our Golden Spotlight. Haley, job well done. On behalf of the school district, Mr. Jorgensen, we do have a plaque for Ms. Haley Rudd. So if the board could go ahead and bestow this upon her. And
Let's do board member comments, and then we'll do the presentation. We'll start with Ms. Jensen.
Haley, thank you so much for all you've done. You've kept us informed, you've given your perspective, you haven't been afraid to speak out for what you believe in and support all the students in our district, and I just really appreciate all you've done. I know you've been really busy with your homework and your sports and everything else, and you try to sneak out whenever you're done with your business, and I just really appreciate you, so thanks for all you do.
And the most important thing to me that you've done is you're always coming here with a different uniform on. I saw you on the stage, medals, trophies, there's nothing you haven't done. The most important thing to me is when you come in here to report to us, you report to us about the kids at Meadowlark that aren't in here represented, and I thank you for your representation of all the students of this district, not just your high school kids and your interests. So exemplary, thank you.
I really appreciate that you are here meeting after meeting. That's not always easy. It's hard for us to get here, so thank you very much for your time, your dedication to Vasquez, High Desert, and Meadowlark. You're an incredible student. You're an incredible board representative. I will say that my favorite thing about you, Haley, is that you speak your mind. I hope you never lose that, your ability to say exactly what you think in a manner that's still respectful of everybody around you, and you get your point across. I really appreciate that, and that personality trait will definitely take you far. So hold on to that and keep it up, kid. Thank you very much.
Haley, thank you for your time here. It's been much appreciated. You're an all-star in all aspects, academic, sports. As Brandon just said, the fact that you stand up to adults and you're willing to speak your mind and give your opinion, that's an asset that most kids your age haven't developed yet. So congratulations on that, and thank you for pushing forward. You're going to do great things in life.
Haley, thank you for your consistent reporting for all the sites, Vasquez, High Desert, and Meadowlark. And you are proof positive that athletics contributes to academic success. Your leadership on your particular team, softball, cross country, and as well as your classrooms is a testament that all your peers will be able to look at. And we look forward to the next year's class nominating their next person to follow you, and you've set a high bar for them. And so thank you again for your constant reports, and I know you bug out of here when it's time to go study and get your stuff and let the adults do all the boring stuff, but I want to thank you. We appreciate it very much for all your hard work and accomplishments with regards to representing the students of the district. Board members, if I could have all board members come down and stand in front of Haley, if you'll come down and present you with your award. Thank you. We forgot to tell you, you have to stay all night until the end. Thank you again, Haley. The amendment to the agenda moved us, we moved to item 6B, which is public comments. Public comments. We have some comment cards here. Let me read this for you. The public place your request for your Board of Trustees card located in the exhibit table, which we have for any recognized, agendized, or non-agendized item to the superintendent prior to the meeting, which we have. Not more than 3 minutes are allotted to any one speaker, and no more than 20 minutes on the same subject. This portion of the agenda is for comments, recognitions, and reports to the board, and is not intended as a question and answer period. If you have questions for the board, please provide the board president, myself, with a written copy, and I'll see that the administrator will provide written answers at a later date. We have several that want to comment. Let me see here. And I believe that. Okay, I believe we have two comments. We have two different topics that we want to talk, that we want to receive comments on. And I'm going to do this one first so that we keep them together as best we can. The first one the first speaker I'd like to recognize is Ms. Pamela Wolter.
Okay. All right. Well, we can do that.
Now, for you and other speakers, as you come up, all you have to do is just state your name for the record, and then the lights will go up and you have 3 minutes. Thank you, Ms. Wolter.
Thank you. Pamela Wolter. I've got a couple of comments tonight, but I came here strictly to give the board, and good evening to all of you. I haven't been here in a couple of months, but I wanted to let you all know that the Acton Town Council has received information from the High Speed Rail Authority that the draft EIR that we were expecting to be done in March or April of this year, which we knew was going to be a huge project, has been postponed briefly from what they're telling us. It could come out this month in June, or it could be in July, we're just not sure. I've been the chairperson of this committee for about 10 years now, Acton Aadusd against the high-speed rail. So we stay closely in touch with our representatives and the people that can give us the most up-to-date information about the high-speed rail. We briefly had a meeting with them, we being the town council, and we were informed that the preferred route may have changed. So what we anticipated we would be studying on the draft EIR could be different. There could be as much as 5 or 6 new items, routes for us to look at. So I'd just like to keep you all informed about what's going on. It's a difficult project, and we all know it's going to be very close to our schools. So it's always been very dear to my heart. When I got involved with this project, it was going to be underneath my house that I wasn't even finished building, that my husband was building for us. And it was going to be 300 feet under my house. My well was at 900 feet. I panicked. I jumped in. So we're still working on it. I just want you all to be aware. We've got your back. We may not be making announcements like we used to, and we may not be able to bring it to your attention the way we would like, but that's why I came tonight. And then when I got here tonight, I found out
Hang on.
There's more to the story.
Excuse me, Pat.
Yes.
That was a public service announcement to benefit the entire community. Let's not penalize the time on that. Let's start the time over, please.
Okay. I just want you to know, you all have my heart. I'm very sad to hear that there's still problems in this school district. I hope and pray we can solve them in a mature manner for our students. That's all that matters here, these kids. I don't even have a kid here. None of my kids graduated from here or went to school here. It was my grandkids. They're in Mammoth now, simply because of a job. But my heart is still here. I owned a business here for 30 years. And we fought hard to get everything that the schools needed. The first computers at the junior high were done by the real estate organization. So, folks, that's all I've got to say. I wish you the best, and good luck.
Thank you. Okay, the rest of the cards are all on the, I believe, are on the same topic that most everybody here is to address and make comments. We're going to do our best to have everybody have the opportunity to speak. Please be concise as best you can so we get with our time frame, and we'll let everybody have an opportunity to speak tonight. In no particular order, I did not put these in alphabetical order, so I'm just going to call them as they were presented to me. The first one is Jody Brutt.
Tim,
Yes.
point of order.
Yeah.
Guys, we typically go into closed session at 6:30. There's a public comment before that, so typically people come in. If they're seeing something on the closed session agenda that there's only so much information is allotted. Some people came in before you all got here and spoke to this issue prior to us going to closed session. The item that we'll be discussing that is related to this has been delayed out of that closed session and separated out. The board wants to hear all of your comments before we return to closed session and discuss this item by itself. Had we just scooted back there based on 5 comments, you all wouldn't have been able to tell us how you feel, and that certainly that does not represent what I feel and vote on. So that's why this is happening. So feel free, if you haven't filled out a card and want to, go ahead, please.
Okay, Ms. Rutt, if you just state your name, please.
Jody Rutt.
Thank you.
Good evening. Dr. Murphy clearly has a lot of support from the parents, students and community. So we, as parents, students, and members of the community, deserve to know why a popular principal is being removed. We realize you may not be able to give all the details, but we have a right to know if he's being dismissed for cause, performance, or if it's a personal matter between the superintendent and the principal. If it's not for cause or performance, then we as parents should have input in this decision. We elect you as a school board to be a voice for us in this process. Thank you.
Cassandra Watson, sorry.
Good evening.
Just state your name.
I am Cassandra Watson. I have 3 kids who attend this district. We've been out here for about 8.5 years. I have only had the pleasure of meeting and interacting with Dr. Murphy one time. That was all it took for me to know that he cared about the students and wanted what was best for them and for them to make good choices and to be good human beings and good students. His sole interest is what is best for the school and its inhabitants. In the short time he has been principal of Vasquez High School, he has done everything he could to improve things. It is very clear that a good majority of students like Dr. Murphy and want him to continue to be their principal throughout the remainder of their high school career. What is also very clear to the parents and the community is that there seems to be a revolving door in our district regarding teachers and principals. It is alarming and unsettling for the community and most importantly for the students. Everyone knows the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. The village includes not only family and friends, but teachers and school staff. Teachers are an integral part of a young person's life, especially in their teen years. For the teachers and staff to be changing continuously and consistently, what seems like every school year can have a very huge and negative impact on the students and their mental health, especially when the teacher or staff care as much as Dr. Murphy cares for the students and staff at VHS. We, the parents, students, staff, and community members, implore you, the members of the board and the superintendent, to consider this vital information and the negative impact that will have on our children. Thank you.
The next speaker, Elizabeth Nunes.
She's absent. She left to go pick someone up.
Okay. She might get that.
Hi, I'm Liz Sotelo. I learned English in this classroom in 1988. I'm a VHS alumni of 2001. I have had 8 children at the school district. I currently have 4 enrolled. My son Francisco Nunez graduated yesterday. Thanks to Mr. Murphy, he is the first one in our family of about 20 of my immediate family that have attended this to go to the university. He took his Sundays to apply to 4 different state universities. He took a Friday at 9 p.m. to make sure he had his financial aid applied properly and there would be no out of cost. My son was accepted and now is attending San Marcos State University. He had no hopes of going to school before Mike Murphy attended. That is a principal that is for the students. I've interacted with him and he's amazing. He's amazing, and I know many of you guys, Mr. Jorgensen, you have coached and you have been around for a lot of my family members, and I expect you guys to do what's right for the children in our community. They need a principal that's going to stand for them and protect them, and you guys need to back him up, back up the community, and make that decision. There's many other things, but I'm not going to address it here today. I'm going to address the positive of Mike Murphy. I will come back and address the other issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Cameron, first name is, I didn't watch your first name.
Hazelin.
Hazel, sorry, I couldn't read it, sorry, Cameron.
Hi, my name is Aislinn Cameron, and I am a graduating student of 2024 that currently attends Vasquez High School, and I have attended this school district since I was in the 1st grade. My older brother graduated from Vasquez in 2019, so I am very familiar with the rotating principals that happen in this school district so often, and I fully believe that it is not okay. And I ask you to observe what has been caused here. There are 72 people on that Zoom meeting that cannot be present here, and I don't even know how many people are in this room and how many people who can't be here today that want to support Dr. Murphy. And I know in my hands I have a paper that I would like to read to you. The following students of Vasquez High School campus support Dr. Michael Murphy's continued position of principal at Vasquez High School. There is 100 signatures on this paper that support his position at Vasquez. I collected these 100 signatures in only 2 hours during finals week. I was not able to go to every classroom or get every person, so I know there's people, maybe even in this room, that were not able to sign this petition, that have wanted to sign it. Murphy has gone above and beyond what the duties of a principal is. When one of our previous teachers, Mr. Ramirez, had to leave the school early during the year, Murphy did not hesitate to take the stand and adopt 5 periods of a teaching position that he did not need to do because we couldn't find a substitute. I was in one of those classes. We were able to get an education that maybe we were not able to get if he didn't step up. He graded our papers on time with by hand with a little red marker. He made comments. He really, truly cared. He did more than some of our, no offense, teachers at Vasquez, teachers do, and it's their job. So he was a teacher and a principal at the same time. You're expecting that or more, something better from someone like Murphy to just fire him against the student body's permission? Like, no one is truly supporting that here, and I think everyone standing in this room truly proves that. He's done so much for everyone here. I know he has defended me as a person of disability in the school district. He's protected me against substitutes who didn't want to give me my accommodations and tons of things that he did not need to do. He attends every after-school event that he can. He goes above and beyond to show his support. And that's the teacher, or that's the principal we need at such a small school. Thank you.
That's you.
Hello, my name is Karen Malone. I've been here before. I'm sure you recognize my face. The last time I was here, we had an issue at Vasquez regarding my daughter. We brought it all to your attention. Nothing was done, but that's okay. Dr. Murphy took care of the whole thing all by himself, turned the situation 360 around. My daughter turned out from getting on the wrong direction, getting not so good grades, to a straight A student. Murphy belongs here. So I am sure all of you agree. This is the principal for Vasquez High School.
Next speaker is Brian Malone.
Good evening. My name is Brian Malone. I came before this hearing the very first day that Dr. Murphy started. We were going to pull the child out of the school district because this school district was so lax. If everybody in this room will take a good hard look, it's this guy right here, okay? Now, we came to him numerous amounts of time, he wouldn't do anything. Then all of a sudden Dr. Murphy came. He promised, I will turn the school around. I'll get the students on the straight and narrow, and I'll make sure that the marijuana selling and usage stops. And he did exactly that. And now it's time, he's done his job, for all these parents and students to support him. And you people sitting up there should be appalled. You are beholden to us, the taxpayers and the parents. You're not beholden to him. If all these people don't want him fired, they want him in this school, that's exactly where he should be. And you guys shouldn't be having closed hearings on this. You should be allowing all of us to be in there so they can be heard. And all of these people that are on Zoom. I'm embarrassed. This saddens me. You guys are trying to sweep it under the carpet, just like he did when the marijuana was being sold out of the school. Tried to shut it up. Tried to keep it quiet. And what happened? Dr. Murphy had to handle it. That's all I can say to you guys. You guys are letting the best thing that this school ever has, you're gambling on getting somebody else that's going to be better than him. It'll never happen. You better think twice about what you're doing. Thank you.
And once Murphy came to school, he really motivated me on how and why I should keep my grades good and why I should be focused on my goals in the future and why I should get into a good college. And I really think that there's a lot of kids who need that motivation and help to be focused on their goals. Because there's a lot of kids who don't really want to go to college and don't really care about their grades, but they really should. And I really think you can help them. And that's why I think you should stay.
I did make you a packet, a copy. The other day, I got wind that our superintendent was planning on firing our principal. So I literally wrote up a thing saying, who wants to keep him? And going around the school. That was me walking around the campus after school, asking parents and students. None of these were forced, and actually if anybody looked at me like they were unsure, I asked them to not sign, because I'm not okay with that. Okay, so I just wanted to give everybody a list on the board of the students that, oh, I think did it. Oh, and one for you. Okay, not that you're, I hope nobody's ears are painted on to these children, because everybody wants Dr. Murphy to stay. I would guarantee you that your positions will be replaced in November when you are all up.
Looks like no one.
Hello, is it alright? It's working. My name is Noah Adams. I've been a student here since freshman year. By far, Murphy has been the best principal that we have gotten. Not only does, I'm stuttering up, man. Not only does he try and go beyond his paycheck, what he's paid for, he truly cares about the students here. I've seen him walk into my class, Mr. Mangle's class, tired and disheveled. He told us that he was working all night in his office doing paperwork for the students. Now, if I just want the parents in here to know that this man right here goes above and beyond for us, the students, and I can't even get special ed services from you. I have gone 2 years without getting my services, and Murphy and Mr. Mangle have fought tooth and nail to get me these services. And now you are trying to fire Mr. Murphy, when by far he's the hardest working principal that I've seen at this school besides Mr. Brockway. I think, like, I don't remember if this was first semester or second semester, but he sat each grade level down to talk about college and getting in their futures. Not once have I had a teacher that has done that for a whole school. Shoot, let alone one person, right? And you guys are firing him? I don't know, man. This is like the third principal we've had, and you're trying to fire him.
This year.
This year, in 1 year. That is embarrassing. I am sorry. That is embarrassing. 3 principals in the same year. What does that say about him? And what does this say about you people? And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Haley?
Hi, I'm Hillary Blaha. I think so much good has been said. So I feel like a lot of the comments that I prepared have all been said. I just want to do a bit of a testimonial for a minute. First impression, Dr. Murphy was out guiding traffic, moving the valet line along. Don't remember ever seeing that before. That was amazing. Then the girls had trouble with their soccer coach. Some real bad trouble with their soccer coach. To the point where they may not have been able to compete because things were so bad. Dr. Murphy stepped in after hours, coached the soccer game all the way down, where were we, Van Nuys or something? In the valley. Guy doesn't even live anywhere near here. Out coaching the girls' soccer team I mean, come on, that is above and beyond. So everything everyone's saying is so true. First impressions are everything, and so proud to have him as the kids' principal. So thank you.
James Rudd or John Fox? Okay, you gonna do it at the same time?
Yes. I'm John Fox. I'm a sophomore at Vasquez.
I'm James Rudd, and I'm also a sophomore. Okay, so Dr. Murphy is by far the best principal we've ever had at this district. He has only been here for like a few months, and he has already made such a tremendous impact on everything. All the kids are getting better grades because of awards he's made, like the Student of the Month award.
While Dr. Murphy has also been our principal, he has taught my English class because our English teacher had left the school, or we should say quit, and he had taught the class for a whole month, which I don't think I've ever heard of a single principal doing that. And he is also a great problem solver. He analyzes the situation by using both parties, and he makes a very good educated decision after hearing out both parties. And
Heather Lundquist, good evening board members, Dr. Sahakian, Ms. Shah, and Mr. Mirza. I'm Heather Lundquist, a teacher in the AAD-USD district for 21 years now. I'm a parent of 2 students, one former and one current, and a community member of 42 years. I've seen a lot of positive and disappointing things come about from our district. Tonight I'm here for 2 reasons. One is to support Dr. Murphy, and the other is to express my concern about the countless ways the district has mismanaged and wasted money and resources on things that do not directly benefit our students. First of all, getting rid of a principal who genuinely cares about his students and staff is a huge mistake and a disservice to those impacted. We at the high school need consistency, dedication, and discipline on our campus. We cannot achieve this with a revolving door policy with our principals. 5 and 4 years is absolutely ridiculous. You would think a decision to forcefully remove an administrator from a campus would involve interviewing the students, the staff, and the parents who are actually involved. This has never happened. We, the staff and students, see how Dr. Murphy operates firsthand. We see his daily interactions with our students, his presence at the sporting events, and how his car is the last one to leave the lot, especially when he's helping students and their parents fill out difficult FAFSA forms and college applications. Unfortunately, his hands have been tied from the start, and yet he still has managed to create new and fun opportunities to help our students improve school spirit and culture on our campus. Another concern is our student safety. While Dr. Murphy was trying to maintain a safe campus environment for our students and staff, the district dismissed and overturned disciplinary action directed by Dr. Murphy regarding a serious incident. In order to be effective, he needs support from the district to protect our kids on our campus. On a different but valid note, we do not need a new school logo. Students do not care or even know that this is a part of our district agenda. Ripping up the gym floor, removing spirit banners in the gym simply because they do not embellish the new logo is a waste of money, time, and resources. This action does not enhance our school experience for any of our students, and the thousands of dollars that are being spent and devoted to this project should be spent on new programs or equipment for specialized courses, not on something we already have and do not need. The bottom line is we need the district to hear, acknowledge, and support the needs of our students and our staff instead of dismissing them and moving on with their own agenda. You have a devoted staff who teach here for the long haul. But when our concerns are not addressed or even considered in important decisions, you will have valuable teachers and staff move on. We request to have Dr. Murphy remain as principal of Vasquez. It's time to do what's right and put your personal opinions aside and listen to the people who are here tonight. The ones who are here represented in this room, the ones on Zoom, the parents and teachers and staff, and the numerous ones on the petitions. We are a small town with small town values, which should be managed differently than that of a larger school district. Our students deserve to be heard. I mean, they are the reason that we're here, after all. Thank you for your time.
Jacob Thomas.
Hello, my name is Jacob Thomas. I've been a student here my entire life. And I'm here in regards to defend Murphy, Dr. Murphy, as principal. He has done nothing but continue to create a safe environment for student learning, and he's also personally helped me as a student succeed. Pulled me aside from classes that I was failing or that I was about to fail, and he helped me. He told me what I should do to increase my grades, not to mention the fact that he's also helped me start an entire esports team at the high school. Without him, that would never have been possible. In the end, Murphy is the best president, or not president, sorry. Murphy is, I wish. Murphy is the best principal I've ever seen, and I think this school district has ever seen themselves. Thank you, good night.
Representative Jennifer Sanchez.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Jen, you got this.
Hi, I'm Jen Sanchez. I am a parent of two, so I'm going to take 6 minutes. I've got twins that are here now, and I've got an older daughter that graduated in 2016. So I don't have to repeat what everybody is here to say about Dr. Murphy, but I do want to say to the board, this is your opportunity. So in 2016, my daughter went to high school under the guise of that big clamshell, did never get to go in. This is your opportunity to be transparent. This is your opportunity to have the perception of everybody in this room come together in a way that doesn't feel shady, doesn't feel slimy, doesn't feel wrong to the parents, wrong to the kids, wrong to you. If there's something we don't know, explain it to us. Be honest and be open, be honest with these kids. This is their time. This is the 4 years that they have. Their perception isn't good. The perception is there's people that are here to leverage another position. There's people here to do their time and go. That's not fair to them. They're asking you, and what I'm asking you, and I think everybody in this room is asking, is just listen. Hear it. Compromise. I know that's not a word that we use very often right now in this society. Compromise. Give to the kids what they need. If you want to be a part of what they want and you want to hear what they want, go to the school. Spend time in the classroom. I know, Mr. Jorgensen, that you had been there many years with my daughter, Corinne. Spend some time with them. Hear what they're talking about. Sit in the class. Spend the time with Dr. Murphy. Don't do it just here. Don't do it just listening here. Spend the time every day to make the opportunity to see what every person in this room is telling you is important to them. And understand that this is something that this community values greatly. That's all.
Next presenter, Susan Knight.
My name is Susan Knight. I don't have a child in this district. I didn't even know where Acton was until we navigated to come up here. But what I do know is Dr. Murphy. And I have known him for 18 years, both as a principal at the first public school my daughter attended. We had come from Arcadia, and I kind of held all principals up to Mike Simonello of Highland Oaks Elementary, who has since moved on. But I looked at Mike Murphy the very first day. I walked into that office at Pinion Hills Elementary, and he's unpacking school books. And I said to the secretary, who I'd known before, "Who's this guy?" She said, "That's the new principal." I said, "He's unpacking books?" Yep. This is the guy that sees something that needs to be done and gets it done. Yes. Absolutely. And I stand here and tell you the biggest mistake that you could possibly make as a board, individually, is to let this principal go. He will take this school to new heights that you've never even thought of. I know this about Mike. He cares about these kids and their excellence and getting the job done and getting them into four-year colleges. Not community colleges where they'll take just about everybody. Four-year colleges. And that's what you want. You want to see these young people, these young kids, achieve greatness. I know Dr. Murphy. He's godfather to my daughter, who has special needs, to my two sons. He's everything that everybody has said about him in this room is the God's honest truth. He doesn't put on a show, and I'm sure he's going to come into heads with teachers, with parents, with administrators, with the board. There's going to be this. But there's no shame in saying, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. We're going to keep you. That's all I have to say.
Good evening. My name is Laura White, and our situation is a bit different from all of those that I've heard today. Our daughter is a freshman this year at Vasquez. We actually chose to be in this district. We had heard mixed reviews, but she really wanted to go to a smaller school with kids that were hopefully more like-minded as she is, and could maybe have more opportunities. She has an IEP and has struggled through the majority of her school year thus far. This year, she's had straight A's. And last week, she was presented an award for academic achievement by principal. He has attended each of her IEP meetings. He has attended any parent meetings that we have had and has always been encouraging, kind, and positive. His character is one that these children can look up to and replicate. He's proud of them. Look around. They feel it. He's proud of them. Anytime we see him, he has a smile and a handshake. Don't we want our children to have a principal with such a strong sense of character? The children feel like they matter. Isn't that what we want? The staff feel like they're supported. Isn't that what we want? As a district, we're looking for many paths of learning to one standard of excellence. It says it right there on the wall. Dr. Murphy is one of those paths to that standard of excellence. Thank you.
Rodriguez.
My name is Melanie Rodriguez. I just wanted to say that I, as a Vasquez student, think that Mr. Murphy is a great principal. He interacts with us students daily, and he's the only principal in my 4 years in Vasquez that I know has done amazing things. I don't even remember the other principals' names. The last day for the seniors, Mr. Murphy was making burgers for us students. And no other principal has ever interacted with students like that. He also made pep rallies come back, and he is constantly working hard to make our school better. He works so hard that he stays late in his office working after school is over. Did you know that Mr. Murphy calls multiple students to his office to encourage them to do better in school when their grades are low, and many do get their grades up? Because someone cares, and that someone is Mr. Murphy. In addition, Mr. Murphy has a unique way with his words, and he always makes everyone laugh. He's a solid guy who I feel just wants the best for us. I would like him to stay. Please listen to the parents, teachers, and students. Thank you.
Sadie Mendoza.
I'm Sadie Mendoza. I am a promoting freshman, class officer, and soon to be ASB vice president. I'm standing up here today to help Dr. Murphy because not only has he been doing a great job with helping all of our seniors out and getting scholarships, he's also helped us all the way down to the freshman level. He has not only just helped everyone that's set up either if they wanted to go to a trade school or if they wanted to go to a four-year. Other things Dr. Murphy has done for us is in ASB. He is always the first one to volunteer when we need chaperones for our dances, when we need help planning and executing things like our spring festival. Him, along with me, a couple other ASB students, and PTSO, put on that spring festival, which I know our whole community loved. And that's the whole point. We are all here today because Acton is a tight-knit community, right? We are not a big city, right? We're here because not only have we accepted Dr. Murphy, we have welcomed him. And not just because he's our principal, because God knows that they come and go all the time in this district. No, we're here to support him for what he has done for us as the kids. Because that's what we're here, right? And for our teachers here, he's the one who supports us as teachers, for the teachers, because that's who's shaping us, right? And we're always talking about funds, and I know I've been in a couple meetings with you, and the difference between you and Dr. Murphy, all due respect, is that you are the antagonist in this story. Not saying that you are the evil one, but I'm saying you're the opposite of Dr. Murphy. Because when he says something, he's gonna get it done, 100%. Where you, it might take a couple, 3 to 5 business days. Not only has Dr. Murphy helped every single one of us, and he's gonna keep on doing it. So I ask you guys to please keep him. And I know I am only 15 years old, but I have been able to form my own opinions, and this is what I believe. So have a good rest of your night.
I grabbed her notes for her. Is that what you just asked?
Sarah Mendoza.
Oh my God.
Then why
Hi guys, I'm her mother. Her mother, sorry, I'm a little frazzled. Everything that I wanted to say has already been said, except for one thing. Dr. Murphy's been accused of using old school methods in the way that he principals the school. And what's funny is that he's surrounded by all these students here are all parents that we went to school with the old school methods. And that's what we want. We want for our kids discipline, we want Saturday school, we want detention, because kids need discipline and they need structure. Not this woke, oh, let's coddle and... That's what we want. We have the wellness center now. We never had that stuff growing up. I understand there are more mental illness needs around here, but Dr. Murphy also is so available for anybody. I know that's another issue, that he drives an hour and a half to get home and has to get up and do the same thing in the morning after working his butt off all day for every different department in school, teaching, whatever he has to do. And he spends time while he's on the road connecting with his students, with with parents, teachers, whatever business needs to get handled, he's available 100%. It's not a problem that we have his cell phone number. He is the most available principal I've ever had in my career of just being a mother and being he is here for these students, for the parents. If there was ever a problem with Sadie, I know that he would reach out to me or my husband because he cares. And you board members work for us.
Yes.
Yes.
To keep this man in our schools. And this is your answer. It shouldn't be a vote, it should be unanimous. This is your answer. And I think that we're all in the last couple years sick and tired of school boards just taking advantage of your position and not listening to the parents. This is your answer.
Jorgensen.
Oh, oops, I didn't say that. But this is your answer. We do not need board members that are not going to listen to you, to us, to our opinions. This is our answer. We want Dr. Murphy. We shouldn't have to be up here begging for him.
Right. But yes.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, due to the amendment to the agenda, we are going to now adjourn to our second closed session at 8:37. Have a motion to adjourn for the closed session number 2.
I'll second.
Chad moves, Brianna seconds, call the question.
Kelly Jensen, aye.
Paul Schaff, aye.
Tim Jorgensen, aye. Did you vote, Chad?
Chad Wadsworth,
Chad vote aye. Tim Jorgensen, 5. The closed sessions are generally 1 hour maximum in length. Could be early, could be sooner, just depends. So hopefully they
This picture.
I was like,
So 2 hours into the second closed session, they're coming out of closed session at 10:40.
Push through all the way. The entire time.
Yeah, I'm recording.
That was me, Tracy.
Huh?
Because I'm the only
Should I stop recording?
Okay, we'll reconvene the general meeting at 10:42. We're closed. I'll have to read again. The closed session may be called at any time during the formal meeting by the motion of the Board of Education for the purpose of discussing a personnel problem, pupil problem, a purchase consultation, a legal problem with an attorney, with an employee organizations in regard to salaries or fringe benefits. All formal action involving such matters must be made in the open meeting. It is my duty to report that the action was taken by the board in closed session. In closed session, the board took action pursuant to Education Code Section 44929.21B to release and non-reelect from employment a probationary certificated employee identified as employee number TM 824-13883, effective at the end of the 2021-2022 school year, and directed the superintendent to or designee to send out appropriate legal notices. The roll call vote was as follows: 3 yeas and 2 noes. The motion was passed.
What?
Wow. Are you serious?
Representative will be up there again.
Use
the children's money to give them special needs education, not to go into your pockets.
Like your bonuses that you've been.
We've heard time and time children say how they were denied services by you.
Okay, we're going to continue.
You know what we're doing.
You're out, Eric.
Why?
We will conduct business now to hand the rest of the balance of the meeting.
Why?
Why? What's the cause?
Why?
Causation. We want answers.
We want transparency.
Just once.
Yes, speak up.
Superintendent, what's the cause? What is the reason behind this?
Okay, we're going to continue with the board meeting. Item number 7, correspondence, proposals, and reports. We have a comment card by the county representative, Mr. Sparks.
We want the superintendent's resignation! Yes! I am disgusted. I'm 2 hours.
And ladies and gentlemen, if we can't have some sense of order to conclude the rest of the board meeting, then we'll have to recess.
There's no order for the
wrong.
We can recess in November.
This is morally wrong.
Mr. Sparks, are you ready for your comments?
Hi, I'm Sheldon Sparks, ADA representative. Wow. Why?
Can't hear you, Sparks.
That's cold-blooded. That is stone cold. This happened 3 years ago with Dan Andrus. You cut somebody loose June 10th when you could have done it March 15th. June 10th, what's the guy going to do next year? Those jobs, they're gone. And the thing is, the decisions that you make every day, every week, reverberate. And they send messages to your entire staff, certificated, classified. And I'll tell you what, you're going to feel this one. This one is not going to go away. There's the beginning.
Not going away.
This is a no-win situation. And you guys really just made it even worse. We trust you. We trust you.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Kelly.
And I just think that, how do you tell Ada to move forward from this? Okay, Ada looks at this and goes, oh my goodness, if they can do it to this person, if they can do it to that person, why can't they do it to me? Why can't they do it to us? If I say something wrong to one of you guys, or if I irritate you, if I say the wrong comment, am I in jeopardy?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Right on.
You're wrong.
Right, Eric?
You are wrong, Eric.
So I'm going to say goodnight tonight.
Ego.
Again, wow, that was a good one tonight.
It's time for him to go, people.
Get off your high horse!
Plus we have not freedom of speech.
Item 7A, CSEA representative.
I honestly can't believe the audacity people have to fire the first principal I have seen at my time at Vasquez who actually cares about the students. It is disgusting, honestly, and I am very glad I will not be serving this position next year. Amen! Our lives. It doesn't matter whether we want to go to a four-year college. It doesn't matter where you want to go to a trade school. It doesn't matter if you just want to go work a job outside. It doesn't matter how it makes the school look, whether or not like we go to a college. He is looking for our best interests. He is there for us. He does not care about how much money he gets. He doesn't care about how many hours of sleep. He doesn't care about the gas money. He doesn't care about any of that. The only thing, his main priority, and he has made it very clear, he's only been here a few months, and yet I have felt that he has actually cared about me and my interests and all the other students personally. It's hard to make that impact, especially on people my age. It is hard to let them know that you actually care. And he has made that very clear. And I can't say anything else because honestly everything I had prepared was already said this meeting, and it is disgusting that you did not listen to any of it. It is blatant that you do not care about our opinions as students. That's all I have.
Deaf ears.
And what was the code that was cited for his release?
Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute
Repeat. He hired you. Are you hiring him back? Is that why inappropriate relationships have been condoned since his tenureship? 2002, I graduated. Kingston was my principal. Inappropriate relationships happened then and continue to happen.
and he is coaching my nephew across the street. That makes me sick, Brianna, to go to my auntie's house and I see Pinkston with my nephew Jaden teaching him, when we all know that in 2002, Mr. Miller, the teacher and the coach, had an inappropriate relationship with the student and moved in the month after she graduated. Jorgensen was hired in 2001, my senior year, by Pinkston. Now Pinkston is back. I'm not okay with that. There's too many things under the rug. Our children's priority is first. I'm a sexual abuse advocate. I've been trained by CSUN, and this is not appropriate. And you guys cleared Pinkston, who, even if he brought him, you guys gave him the okay. And we live here. We know this has happened. Cheswick, Clint Cheswick, security guard, basketball coach, same year as Jorgensen, and 2001 when I graduated Pinkston, inappropriate relationship with the student. They turned 18 and they moved in the next month. That's appropriate. We allow this to happen in Acton because it has been happening. Charges have been pressed against a high school teacher for having or a coach, sorry, inappropriate relationship with a student. And you guys are sitting here firing our teacher? Shame on you guys. Why is Pinkston here? Yeah, our principal. Why is he really here? Because you guys want to have him as the principal of Vasquez next year? Have we not learned in our previous experience? This is actual facts. I graduated 2001.
Instead of having a string of crappy principals, why don't we keep a good principal that we have? I've dealt with almost every single one of the principals in this district. This is the first one that cares. It's crap.
And my concern is, you want to bring a wellness center to brush up all the sexual relationships that are No, not here. We want accountability
in our school.
You take it back.
That is not a good idea.
So what's the code? Can you please tell us what the code was? What's the code that was used for his dismissal?
You can't even speak.
Based on what code?
He doesn't live here. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. You want to superintendent. This is Acton.
Let's go. You should go back from where you came from.
Hey, you know what, kids? Look at this. Watch this. You think that you don't want to go on in life, and you don't want to say anything, and you don't want to do anything, and you want to just let things pass you by. This is what you get. So take this example of why you speak up for the things that you believe in, and why you should always take part in your community and the things that are going on. Because even if it doesn't affect you, one of you will come back and you'll have kids here. Will this still be happening? Will it be in some other community? Speak up for yourselves. Get involved in your communities. Don't let this be the last meeting that you come to for this.
Mr. Aaron, sir. Where was this energy when you didn't fire Miss V for calling Blake a retard in her class? That is a substitute teacher, and it was reported, and she was not fired. Where was that energy? Where was this energy?
Because he probably liked that one.
I would like to say something, actually, guys. I sincerely appreciate every single one of you kids being here.
No.
Yes, she does. You're Noah, right?
She does. Yeah.
Noah, I absolutely appreciate you being here. I absolutely appreciate you speaking your mind. I do.
Vote for Murphy?
Yeah, she did.
The vote was 3-2, and that was read into the report.
Yeah, there they are. They're allowed to say.
I haven't been quiet on the way that I feel, so Noah, I absolutely appreciate you being here. That's not what I wanted to say, so that's not a plausible. But what I want to say is, no matter our feelings, every single person in this room, every single one of you, and every single one of us deserves respect, including Mr. Murphy. So at the end of the day, we preach kindness. And I know you guys hear it all the time, kindness matters. Let's remember that.
Firing him is not kind.
But this is
I'm not-
disrespect to us, what you guys are doing.
Yes.
You guys are disrespecting us, but you guys want us to respect you.
I am not asking for respect for me, I'm asking for kindness in the room, be better than me.
That's not kind.
You said respect.
I agree.
You guys can do that.
Be better than me. We are on a break in the meeting because we can't even go through with the meeting. I have to work in the morning. I know you guys have to work in
These
the morning.
kids have finals in the morning.
I know you guys have school in the morning and you have finals, and I'm incredibly proud of you for being here. I can stay up all night. I know you guys need to go to school, and I am so sorry that you even have to be here doing what you're doing, and I know the reason why you're doing it. I've been where you guys are. Let's not forget that. I've sat there. I've been on the screen. I've been fighting where you guys are. So I apologize that you even have to be here, but we do have to move forward with the meeting. There are ways that you can share your concerns, lots of ways, and I know that you all know how to share your concerns.
But they're falling on deaf ears.
They're not falling on deaf ears.
Nothing changes.
He can't even speak up and give us the reason. He can't give us a code. We're asking for a reason, we're asking for a cause, we're asking for the code. Nobody's speaking to us.
On personnel matters, if you see our board policy on anything personnel matters, we cannot tell you anything personnel. I can't tell you, these guys can't tell you, he can't tell you. We are not allowed to speak on that. So it's not that we're ignoring you and it's falling on deaf ears. It's against the law for us to tell you that.
There was a code put out.
Set a code.
Oh, I don't know.
He needs
Yes,
to
he
repeat
said
the
a code.
code.
He needs to read it.
We asked him to read it back. He said the code. It's in the minutes.
It will be in the minutes, and there is also video. So if you guys are gonna wait for a code, our meeting can't go on. I sincerely apologize.
But
There
it takes
will
2
be.
seconds to repeat the code.
He needs to just repeat what he said when he
It
walked
takes 2
out.
seconds.
He just
He
has
needs
to
to
repeat it.
face
He doesn't
us.
have to give us new information.
He needs to face us.
He just has
That's
to
his
repeat what he
responsibility.
said. Because that was the reason why they have not renewed his contract. I think it's fair.
If I knew what code you were talking about, I would say it. I believe that he said.
Based on pursuant to this code, because of this code, this is why we have elected to not bring him back. So
He
we'd
needs
like
to
know
just
what that
repeat
is.
it so we can write it down. We need to understand. If you're not gonna give us the reason, we need to understand the code.
Yeah.
I mean, no, there's not gonna be, it's
He
not
hasn't
gonna be
said
a
one thing.
definitive reason, but.
Eric
hasn't said thank you to the parents, thank you to the students, not one thing, he can't even look at us.
No.
You pay for us to be respectful to him.
It's on his
He has
phone,
not
look
respected
at
a
it.
single
On
person.
his phone, doesn't even care. Don't even care.
Oh, wow, now you can respond to the child. Yeah, nice of you, bravo, bravo.
I'm just clarifying that I'm requesting for the code that's being requested from the parents.
Yeah, but we're asking you
we're
to address
requesting
it,
for
that's how you address it.
Resignation from you.
You're human people and the first job while you're here.
And we've been very patient, very, very patient. An hour has been 3.
You guys said it wouldn't be more than an hour, you couldn't take more than an hour, you took 2 hours. We waited.
And these are real issues. Jorgensen needs to come out and address them because they're true, it happened. And he brought things come back beyond everything that's already happening. And now he's just hiding in the back and he won't even be the coach of the community.
Ms. McCauley's coming out with the code to set this.
Isn't Eric the one that gave the code? He doesn't know what it is?
No, it was Tim.
So we don't even know why we fired him, but we fired him. Of course, it's one against. So my deal is that you guys talk. Don't you guys see us here fighting? We're actually fighting for something. You see our peers, you see our whole generation, we have no motivation for anything, and then you guys sit here, and even as soon as we want something, you guys go and walk away. You see all of us here, Vasquez? Yeah, we're here, we're fighting for him. Because guess what? He gave us a chance when no one else did. Because guess what? Who we are, we're students. We are under the age of 18, and because we're under the age, we're not allowed to vote. So our voice does not matter. But that ends. Because until our voice matters, we will not stop.
Because you see us all here? Come on, I've been in meetings with you. You know me at this point. But you can't even say a word to me. And you're disrespecting me at this point. You're disrespecting everyone here. We are here as a community. Because guess what? We're acting. We're turquoise wearing, stone mucking people. That's who we are. We all joined for the 4th of July parade, and we're all here together. And that's what we are. So if you cannot say a word to us, just give us that.
Maybe an apology.
What I would like to just refer to the student, and I think it was Ms. Taxon who mentioned that we cannot share personnel matters. It's not legal.
I'm not asking for personal things. I'm asking from you.
Personnel matters, I mean like the staff. We can't address staff matters.
She's saying for you to personally address us.
So can I also talk about the things that were talked about in our meetings too, at our council at school, right? Because I know me and a couple of the other students here were in these meetings. Is that personnel matters too, sir?
Bring it up.
Bring it up. Let it all out.
Transparency.
Those are student concerns for the school. Personnel matters are staff-related concerns that are confidential and we cannot share.
Thank you very much, sir.
So let's go hire another crappy principal.
What's the plan? What's the plan for next year?
He finally starts to get things back.
So we're gonna have a whole summer without a principal for next year?
What about to 100 parents?
Yeah, but I'm sure Norton will be
I don't understand why they're on the board, the ones that didn't. Why are you there when you see what your community wants? Why are you?
Kids.
Yeah,
They're here for their money and their pocket, their paycheck.
And maybe that's what, I don't know, say it's not true. If it's not true, speak up for yourselves and say what's going on.
The code that was used is listed in the board agenda. It says pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.5. And that has to do with public employee discussion, discipline, dismissal, and release, listed in the closed session part of the agenda. That's actually on every agenda. If you look, there's different codes listed for what we can speak about in closed session.
And I think the case was made, somebody had made the point too about, listen, we understand that there's probably a fine line between did somebody's feelings get hurt, or was there something legitimately wrong, and there's not a trust. There's no trust. So I think that's why people are kind of looking to the board for, we'd like an answer, because we don't trust your decision. We don't know. You're right. We didn't know what Amber Heard did or didn't do. The gentleman is in this room, okay? We're assuming it's not anything incredibly heinous or he'd be incarcerated. So we as a community who live next to you, who work next to you, kids go to school together, are kind of asking for something. Maybe we have to go outside so you can be out of this environment to say, hey, guess what? Not speaking of but this is why, as a board member, I chose to fall on completely deaf ears the pleas of these kids. Completely deaf ears the pleas of this community. That's what we want to know. You don't have to give us the details. We just want to know why you said, nah, hurt my feelings. I don't like what he said. I didn't like how he said it. He didn't want to do something that I wanted to do, and so
How is your decision benefiting our kids?
It's not.
How is it? We wanna know. We want to be happy going home that you guys made the right decision, and we want to know how is this going to benefit our kids?
It's not.
How?
It's not.
It's not. I have 4 kids. This is my first year in this community. I have 4 kids, elementary, middle school, and I'm worried. And I'm worried. And I had a horrible year. I have a kid with special ed in the high school. The whole year she needed a special instrument to hear. And she didn't get it the whole year. She didn't get her psychology evaluation. Yet yesterday I filled out the package and sent it. They did an IEP without a psychology evaluation. And they postponed it 3 times. And she didn't get her appropriate hearing aid until like 2-3 months ago.
That's pathetic.
And how many more cases are like that?
Right here, right here.
I am worried.
4 children like that.
Mr. Sahakian, I am worried. I am worried for my kids that are going to continue. We just moved to this community because it's a good community, thinking we're coming to a good school. And honestly, as a parent, I'm really worried. And I'm thinking maybe we made the wrong choice coming here because my kids were very happy. And I pulled them out from good schools and I brought them here, and now I'm really worried.
And we all feel like that.
Yeah, because you're bringing your stuff to this community that we don't want.
We don't need it.
We're not a
We need
big
Mr.
city.
Murphy. Dr. Murphy.
We're Acton.
It's okay, Anna.
And shame on the people that are in this community that sit up there and tolerate it. Absolutely.
Yep. Shame, shame, shame.
Is it illegal to at least tell us if you're not renewing this contract because, like without going into details, is there anything you can tell us so we know? Because I guess the thing is, we could leave this room tonight and maybe he did something wrong, right? And none of us know. We're fighting for him and we have no idea. And we're not looking for details. Like, we don't want the gossip. We just want to know, like,
He didn't do anything wrong.
well, but that's the thing, like, we just want to know, is he not being hired back because it's disciplinary, or is he not being hired
Personal
back
reasons.
for personal reasons? We don't want to know the details. I think we're very unsettled knowing that we're losing
An amazing person.
Yeah.
Can you guys reconsider?
Somebody obviously thought, hey, maybe that's not a good idea. So it wasn't a unanimous vote that, hey, this is bad.
We all think this is not a good idea. How do we
If
appeal
won't
this
be pulled
decision?
over our eyes, tell us, but I don't think it is.
How do we appeal this decision?
When can you guys reconsider this?
How do we request a
I
formal
just keep it nice.
resignation
When
of
you did
Eric?
this to the kids with one vote. One vote did this to all this community.
You have all these
Dr.
people.
Stockton should resign.
When this gets out.
Yet you have
When it all
only,
gets out. It's gonna be a mutiny.
there's only 5 of you.
Yeah. Oh, I
There's
know.
hundreds of us.
on Fox News.
Well, not really.
No, but seriously, tomorrow morning.
Hold on, I want an
It's
answer.
gonna be
How
bad.
do we appeal this decision?
We want you guys to reconsider it again. Go back there and talk again and change your answer and come back. Unless you guys all want new jobs and don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
We're only here to
Why there are a few people that don't already want to come back, so they don't really care.
Well,
So that's
go
part
back
of the
there,
problem.
figure it out, and come back.
Dr. Stockton should resign.
Except they're right now.
We're all hangry. If you don't really want to be here, you should just step
Tomorrow morning's gonna be worse than tonight. You could ever imagine tonight. Tomorrow morning, you guys are gonna be the most hated people in this community. How could you do this to our kids?
No, nobody's leaving.
Tear up. I'm right. This is ridiculous that you did this to our community. Acton and Aadusd are tight. You know this, Brianna.
Yeah. Where's your sign? Raise it up, come on.
Look at that, Lord. Look at those kids. Studying for their finals for tomorrow. How many more at home watching the Zoom?
Yeah.
How many more are on their Snapchat going, we've got this, guys. We can do this. And look at what you guys did, especially you. They can't even look at us that had a smirk on your face every time somebody walked up there. You had a smirk every single time somebody would talk. And when she got up, Miss Mendoza got up, your assistant gave her the nastiest look when she called you what you are.
And rolled her eyes.
That's
And
why
rolled
she's
her
not
eyes.
even here.
She's not even here.
How are you guys representing the parents?
They're
if
not.
the parents are telling you what they want and
And what
you're
we
not
need
listening.
for our kids.
For our kids'
We're
future.
pleading for our
They
kids.
yours.
Norton,
They're ours.
you were one of my teachers. You were my principal. I graduated from Vasquez while you were there. You told us that you would have our back, and you don't have my back, You don't have my son's back, and you don't have any of this community's back anymore. What happened to you?
It's not even us anymore.
I
It's the future of
believe you.
America.
I voted
This is
for
here.
you.
This is here and this is now, and it's the future of America that you guys will end up ruining. Because guess what? We're all here right now for Dr. Murphy because he has had an impact on every single one of our lives. And if I have to alliterate that 1,000 times in 1,000 different languages, I will. Because guess what? Not only it starts here right now, but this is all going to stay in our hearts and minds for a long time. Because guess what? We are the future's leaders right here. All of my friends, right, my peers, we are the future. And if you take away the future from us, what do you have for us now? If you take away our future, why should you have the present?
Goes to prove nobody cares about your kids, only parents do.
Only money. That's the only thing that this is all about.
This is our kids' future.
The money.
Okay.
Yep, that's where it all lies.
I want to hear what he has to say.
Nobody cares.
Okay, so we need to conduct the rest of the business meeting. If you would like to stay and do that, we'll have that. There'll be opportunities for further discussions later on, but we need to conduct the rest of the business before the end of the school year. So if you'd like to stay and listen to that, that's fine, but you need to let us go ahead and proceed with our business meeting.
Go for it, we'll finish later.
We want you to
We'll finish
reconsider.
later. Tomorrow. Tonight, here.
Okay, 7D, Dr. Zahaki and Superintendent, don't stand in front.
Look at all these kids. Come on.
Thank you, Ms. Jorgensen. So I'll be addressing student achievement this evening, the student achievement alone. Like you said, MME activities. Night of the Stars at Vasquez High School.
Look at those kids that are on there are here. Those kids that are on there are here.
Yeah. Yep. It's a joke. You're addressing students like that, and you're not even listening.
If you would, please, we can let the superintendent go ahead and report his gold standard report for the day.
No. We don't want to know about that. We want Dr. Murphy to stay here. We want you to reconsider, please. Come on, what do we have to do?
We need to conduct the rest of the business meeting.
No, nobody cares. Just like you don't care, nobody cares about the rest. That's not why we're here.
If we let you finish your business meeting, will you keep Murphy?
What kind of heart do you think people have? Come on.
They don't have one.
We don't want you.
They have a bank account.
Right.
They have a bank account
Request
they
to go ahead and
go
table the
to.
superintendent report as well as the COVID report.
All over again with no principal.
Board members, we're going to do table item 7D, superintendent gold standard report, and table 7E, COVID-19 report. Call the question, please.
And you go bless some other children somewhere else.
No.
I appreciate y'all.
On the 16th, we're having a safety meeting to address all the safety issues in town. Right here, what time? 10 a.m., 9 a.m.? I heard it's in the morning. 10 a.m. 10 a.m.? We need to be here. We're talking about safety issues. So now we have a lot of safety issues to bring up.
Really just some comments, but I don't know if it will make any difference. I want you to know that I don't make any of my decisions lightly. I will not sleep tonight, and I don't want you to think that I did not listen to you. Unfortunately, we can't say things of personnel matters, and I know you say that we have reasons and that we do. I want you to know we have reasons, and we did not take that lightly. We were back there for a very long time. I love this district. I love this community. I don't want you to think I didn't listen to you. I did listen to you. It doesn't feel like that, and there's nothing I can say that will make you change your mind, and I understand that. I feel incredibly sad for our kids because I saw what I saw this last week between the Night of the Stars and the graduation. And seeing them here tonight and what they love about their school breaks my heart.
Didn't change your.
Should have changed your vote.
Yeah, exactly.
I would challenge you individually to find the time to get into the community and somehow express that to the kids. Again, we don't always know the details, and I understand.
And I appreciate that, and people's comments tonight now. I hear what you're saying, and I believe you, and I hope you can believe me as well when you say you understand you don't have all the facts.
You don't. And again, you've got a group of kids that all speak the same language.
I understand.
We don't speak the language that they speak. And so the impression that he left on them is the impression that you're going to leave on them. And unfortunately, these are kids that are going to be there for the next 2 years, 3 years. And these are the kids that are going to be left with this in their mind of what just happened. Regardless of how,
just wreck their lives.
what they
One
want.
vote.
So just please.
So please just
challenge you to
resign.
get into the community. Get into the community, make yourselves known, get on their level.
We want you guys to reconsider again.
We want you to resign.
Okay,
Bring someone that cares.
We want you in our community.
Let the board members make their comments, please. We're going down the road, we're going to let each board member make comments. If you'd like to listen to that, you're welcome to stay.
We've spent much time, hours, minutes, thinking, reading emails, listening to comments, not sleeping, thinking, rereading, not sleeping, and thinking. If things could be said here and public, it would be different. We can't do that. That's why things are done in closed session.
And
to think that we would want this to happen, I don't think is, how would we want this to happen?
It happens every year.
Right? I'm just saying.
It happens every
And I
year.
understand that, and that's something I have to do, and I have to take that hit, and that's what has to happen.
So if we go through a principal every year, how are we supposed to trust that you guys are actually going to pick the right principal?
Don't you guys want the best for our children?
Absolutely.
So this is not the best.
So how are we supposed to trust that at this point?
Absolutely, we want the best for your kids.
My kid has been through so many principals in this school district.
Our kids are telling you guys this is the best for our kids. If you guys want the best for our kids, you would change your answers. Reconsider.
I know, Brianna, you have kids in this school district. How many other of you actually have a kid in this school
Probably
district?
none.
He's sitting right in front of you, actually.
Okay, so you
I do have a child in this district.
No,
I do.
I
So
know.
I don't know where that rumor is going around. And I will address this because I got a pretty nasty email talking about my decisions to place my children. I will make it public right
I
now.
already knew you did.
I have one child
Yeah.
in this district for one more day. I work at a junior high school. I am a single mom. I have raised 6 kids in this small town. I have lived in this town for 41 years. I went to school here. This was the library where I came and got my books. I went to school here. I live and breathe here. Yes, I took my kids out. Why? And I've said it over and over and over again. The programs are not here that best fit my children. It's not because our school is terrible. It's because the best place for them was at a high school that had arts and choir, and unfortunately we don't have that for them. I'm fighting to bring those things back so that the next kid can have that. My child is 11. He needs to go to school with me. I work at a junior high. The best place for him is at my school next year, period. That has nothing to do with our junior high. It's a fantastic school. I went there, I worked there, I fell in love with the kids there. I fell in love with your kid there. I love that kid.
I wasn't attacking you.
I pulled my kids out for a personal reason. It has nothing to do with our schools. Our schools are amazing.
How a school can be a good school if it has more substitutes than regular teachers?
Let's let the board members complete their comments, please.
How? That middle school that you're talking about has more substitutes than regular teachers. How?
Did not.
Huh?
My child's class did not, so that's what I can.
But the whole school has more substitutes than the regular
Can you
teachers. How?
please, let's let the board members make their comments.
I'm responding to the comments.
Like I said, there's nothing I can do to change your mind, I understand that. And we love your kids. I know it doesn't feel like that right now.
You can
We have no reason. I personally have no reason to terminate someone for.
Do we negotiate for our kids?
Who does? Who is it with?
That's
Who is it?
That's all I have this evening.
Whoever is it, change your answer.
Sakian has a personal problem. We all know it.
Mr.
He
Felker.
needs to resign.
I'm waiting for everyone to be heard. No one's ever heard me be this silent, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll tell you a little something about law. Every process, people have a right to due process. I have a child in this district. It's a special education child. If I don't agree with something the school district is doing with my child, I have the right to seek another assessment. I have the right to seek other opinions. I have the right to seek an attorney.
That takes so much time.
I will stop talking until you talk, until you're done talking. I want to hear everything you have to say. I will be here at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I will resume my comments when you're through. So please, go ahead.
That process that you are talking about takes so much time. And the whole year has passed, and it's really sad when my daughter comes and says, I feel I haven't learned anything this whole year, Mom. Because she didn't have a right IEP, she didn't have the right assessment, she didn't have the right equipment, she didn't have the right teacher, she didn't have nothing, you know. And you're saying I have the right to ask for another IEP, another for this, but all this takes time. And another year has passed from her life. You and I cannot bring that back. No matter how many appeals I do, no matter how many courts I go to, I cannot bring that back. She has fallen behind more than she already was. Go ahead, answer.
Well, I'm not answering. We don't engage that way.
Okay.
I have a child that has an IEP. I'm fully aware of what you're talking about. I'm very aware of what you're talking about. But I'm not here to talk about my child. I'm here to tell you that when a decision is made that could affect someone, there are laws about that, how that happens, and there are due process rights that people have. Just because I say something, I'm 20% of the board.
We want to revote.
But I'm not going to revote. The person has due process rights. There is a process. I have never been this silent. But I will not engage in commentary that's inappropriate. The person has due process rights. That's what I have to say.
So then you should sue him. I would like to start off by thanking Pam for coming. Thank you. I mean, it's almost midnight and you're still here. I appreciate you supporting our district. I appreciate you supporting our community and always bringing the most updated information that does affect our entire community, not just our school district. I really appreciate you caring enough about our entire community to take the time out of your night, meeting after meeting, and doing what you do. I just wanted to say thank you for your tireless efforts. I appreciate you.
Excuse me, I have a matter of business. We were supposed to extend the board meeting at 10 p.m. That was not done. I move that we extend the board meeting until, how much time do you have on the budget report?
I can make it as quick as possible.
Well, we need to be thorough and efficient.
Like 5 minutes each, I'll cap it.
Well, I've got 20 minutes of questions about charter school funding.
Okay.
I'm going to move that we extend the board meeting until 1 a.m.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Kelly Jensen, aye.
Paul Schraff, aye.
Brianna Texoni, aye.
Chad Walters, aye.
Tim Jorgensen, and the meeting is extended until 1 a.m. Continue.
So I will cut my comments short. I have a whole list of things to speak about. I do want to say I thoroughly enjoyed High Desert's promotion. and the Vasquez graduation. This was my first time as a board member being able to participate as a board member in those events. And it's such a different experience, and I just want to thank everybody for allowing me to hold that part. I'm looking forward to Meadowlark's ceremony tomorrow. What I do want to say, and I don't think it's something that is widely advertised, I heard from our counselors that we had 100% of our students graduate. A 100% graduation rate is huge, and that is the principals, that is the teachers, that is the staff, that is the parents, that is the students, all of you kids that brought your grades up, all of these kids that are 100% graduation rate. That's enormous. So huge kudos to absolutely everybody, those kids that work so hard. That is just incredible. So I just wanted to make that known. That is absolutely huge. And then I just want to thank Aislinn, Desiree, did she leave? Noah, John and James, Melanie and Sadie, I think they all left. So I just wanted to say thank you. First to all the parents that stood up and spoke, but to those kids, I know that's not easy, and I really, really appreciate you coming and putting your thoughts on paper and then getting up in front of an entire crowd of people and fighting for what you believe in. It's not the best of circumstances, but I appreciate that they were able to be here. So I just want to commend those kids for being able to get up and speak and let their thoughts be heard. And I really hope that they hang on to that part of it, that they were able to do that. So I just want to thank them. I'll visit the rest of this stuff at a different board meeting, so that's all.
And I don't even know where to start. This has to be probably the most disappointing thing that's happened in this town in a long time, and I've been here for a long time. I'm not even sure how we rebound from this point, to be perfectly honest with you. My kids have come through the school system. I currently have one who just left in the school system. I believe in the schools, I believe in the teachers, but I don't know what I believe in as far as the rest of it anymore. I'm so confused, and I just don't get how, when you have overwhelming support,
Absolutely.
and when you have a person that is not a polished person, but could probably be coached, why do we let that person go? I mean, why do we ruin the best thing that's come across this district?
Amen.
Across the school, I should say, because we have many great other principals and staff, but it's not to take away from everybody else. It's helping make our district better, but I don't understand it. I can't wrap my hand around it. I started this morning at 9 a.m. here to review files, to try to understand where this was coming from, and I left here with more questions than I had answers. At 10 o'clock, I'm looking for somebody to talk to, and there's nobody here to talk to. I don't get it. My day starts at like 4 a.m. and I don't get home most nights until after 8. I do this as a volunteer because I care about my kids, I care about the community. We're not paid, but yet the paid people were not here at 10 a.m. to answer serious questions in a situation where we knew the town was going to react the way they are. I don't blame you guys. To sit here and watch the youth express themselves in such a strong manner, I mean, that doesn't happen. You don't see kids that are 14, 15, 16, and 17 years old stand up to adults. I see it because of other organizations that I'm involved in, but I know how much training those kids have had to get to that point. All of this tonight, that was from the heart. From the heart.
And ignored.
And the first thing I said to you when you came into this job, you have to know this community. I'm so disappointed. All I can say is, Pam, thank you for being here.
Thank
It's late.
you.
Tracy, thanks for being here. All the moms and parents are out here to show support. It's late. I know you guys have finals. I know where your heart is. I voted to keep Murphy. I wanted Murphy here. I'm one of 5 people. I'm one of 5. Okay? So, I said my piece back there. It was long-winded. That's why it took 2 hours. There was a lot of discussion. But I'm one of 5, and I'm sorry. I honestly am really sorry.
It's not your fault.
So,
Thank you.
that's all I have to say.
You too, Miss Brianna!
Okay, so this has been a significant beyond imagination and most challenging meeting that in my 20 years associated with the district and my 3 years sitting on the school board that we've had to consider. I was encouraged and moved by the number of students and parents that wanted to come out and support Dr. Murphy as the retention for the principal of the high school. I've had multiple conversations with Dr. Murphy. I was excited when this Dr. Murphy was hired with the potential that we were going to have for the school, because Vasquez has been my passion for 18 years. The challenge that belies all of us here is that our interactions in closed session remain confidential because of personnel and employee rights. And while I have moved beyond all manner of pride and emotion with the outpouring that the students gave, and I know they're speaking honestly, I know they're speaking from their heart. Same goes for the parents, same goes for the teachers and staff, my former colleagues that I taught with. But the challenging and difficult part, and I mentioned it on multiple times at past board meetings, that the frustrations that we have are hindered by when we come to make decisions, that they're not all public. And we're not allowed to make them public. That we have to consider other things, the actions, the results, and districts run out 3 years, 4 years in advance. And we were in the back room, and I compliment all of our board members. We were having very good, forthright, upright discussions, back and forth, give and take, ideas, alternatives, compromise. And the unfortunate reality is that the outcome that, when everything was said and done at the end, we knew was not going to be one that the students would like. And that was my first consideration, is that the students, and I listened to parents, but parents are second. I knew the students were going to have a hard time reacting to this and adjusting to this and figuring out what's going on. And there's not one board member up here that would not just love to be able to tell you everything that happened and everything that's going on. But unfortunately, under the rights of employees, we aren't allowed to do that. We respect the rights of our employees, and like Mr. Fallsgrave said, all of our employees have due process, regardless of what board decisions are. We take into account all of the comments that were made. I took notes, I read, I looked at them again, I went back in the back, and I apologize for getting up and leaving because it's such a grueling and difficult decision that we had to make. As board president, my job is to support and facilitate the other board members to make sure that they have the information that they want, get the things that they need so they can make decisions and then conduct the business of the meetings at the meetings. I still have a vote, but I'm only one vote. I don't have an explanation that will satisfy you as to the outcome of this vote. I just don't have it. Because it's still spinning around in my head, but I know that we had to make a decision And the decision based on the information that we were provided and that we had in front of us that we had to consider was the result that we brought back. It's
Piecemealing.
I'm not, there's no way to explain it. I can't explain it to any of you. It's just that I don't have the right to
Use
use
caution, Board President.
Yes.
People have rights to due process. They will find that due process somewhere besides this meeting tonight. I'm getting very uncomfortable with the discussion that may cause a permanent disfiguration of someone's reputation, whether it be yours or anyone else's.
I appreciate that, Mr. Fallsgrave. I want to compliment all of the parents and the teachers, and particularly the students, for coming forth and speaking tonight. You do matter. Your voice counts. We listened, we heard, we considered. We did not discard it. And I appreciate you bringing that forward to us. Moving on to the consent
I would like to
calendar.
add something to my board comments really quick. I'm looking at all of these, all of your faces, you students, and I want to apologize. My heart is breaking with you. I see your face, and I see your tears, and I'm genuinely so sorry to every single one of you. Every single one of you.
All right, consent calendar will include items 9